Welcome to this insightful panel discussion on passion and profession. I, Surbhi Shah, am honored to be your master of ceremonies for this engaging and motivational session. Whether you are a seasoned professional, a dedicated homemaker, a young student, or a passionate artist, today we are celebrating the strength, resilience, and achievements of women. May I now request the moderator for the panel discussion, Ms. Trishila Jain, Lead HR and Promoter, Eagle Seeds and Biotech, to escort Squadron Leader Paridhei Singh Karthik, Ms. Shalini Nambiar, and Ms. Mahasweta Ghosh to the stage. Let us all, with a thunderous round of applause, welcome our esteemed panelists, achievers in their respective fields, who will be sharing their valuable insights with us today. Welcome, ma'am. Isn't the stage sparkling with glory? I may now request Mr. Pankaj Soni, Director Housel, who are into brand design houseware, to come to stage and welcome our guest speakers with sapling and mementos. I would request Sonali Paul, IMA board member, to join him. Thank you. Today's theme for panel discussion resonates with women from all walks of life. We have a fantastic lineup of speakers planned that I am sure will inspire, empower, and enthrall you. The first speaker for the session is an epitome of bravery. I would request the tech team to play audiovisual for Squadron Leader Paridhei Singh Karthik.
Squadron Leader Paridhei Singh Karthik. With an illustrious career in the Indian Air Force, Squadron Leader Paridhei Singh Karthik has soared to great heights, accumulating an impressive 2,500 hours of flying experience and mastering various transport operational roles. She's captained the AN-32 aircraft in a range of demanding missions, including paradrops, low-level operations, bombing, and critical tasks in Carnicobar and Port Blair. She is a dynamic sports enthusiast. Her passion for adventure led her to raft major rivers in India, and she is the driving force behind the Indian Federation of Adventure Sports and Racing. A multifaceted artist, Paridhei is a skilled Kathak dancer, a yoga practitioner, a meditation teacher, motivational speaker, a corporate trainer, a strategist, and a pranic healer. Paridhei is also associated with various NGOs like Hamara Sansar and Rotary Club. Let's welcome Squadron Leader Paridhei Singh Karthik.
A very good afternoon to everybody. I hope everybody has had good lunch and is ready to listen to us. A very big thank you to IMA for inviting me over and giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with all of you. So today's topic is passion and profession. I am very lucky that I have got to live my passion as my profession and as my engagements throughout my life. I was very passionate about flying, and I at one time would cycle around 20 kilometers in Bhopal. I'm from Indore. From Bhopal, I used to cycle some 20 kilometers one side twice a day to go finish my flying lessons in the Madhya Pradesh Flying Club there. So all my hard work, all my effort that I put into flying was given to me as a prize when I joined the Indian Air Force. So the passion has always driven me. Passion has driven me even to my adventure sports. I used to love nature. I used to love being in the rivers, in the mountains. That's why I chose to be a whitewater rafter guide. I have guided many rivers in this country, and I have also been into skiing, which took me to the mountains. So a passion-driven life is a successful life. That is a life which teaches us that if you have interest in a certain thing, that if that interest is driving us, it gives you very good result. So that you don't feel the pain or the, what should I say, the hurt of going through the hard labor towards your passion. So I have lived a passion-filled life. I have also seen other side of life and challenges which happen in everyday life of the Air Force women. If you are in a field which is full of men, and I joined in '95, if I am in that time when there were no women in the Air Force, if we are in that field, in that stage where there are no women, you can understand our challenges. The infrastructure was not built for us. There were no washrooms for us when we joined our offices. There was no washroom, ladies' toilet for us. We had to go to our residences to go and use a washroom. And you see, we are the officers. There are some people who are men, who are sailors, who are sort of not officers, they are of the lower ranks. They were from so many villages and so many rural areas of India. Do you think they liked taking orders and commands from a lady? They didn't. We have faced challenges in trying to give commands, in trying to give orders to our younger men to make them listen to us. Those were the times. There was an incident, I will tell you, when first intake of the ladies was as co-pilots in the Air Force. They said, we'll try you out as co-pilots, and then we will give you a chance to become captains. So we said, okay, we took part as co-pilots, and after 3 years they said, now we want you to do a captain conversion, and you now will become captains. We said, fine. We went through the training of around 3 months, and then we gave exams to become captains of the aircraft, from co-pilots to captains. When I went for the exam, I was sure I would do well because I worked hard. I gave my ground subjects was good, my flying was good, flying test went off well, and I got the required marks. When the time came to give the captaincy, they came to me and they told me, listen, lady, you have done well in your exam, you have done well in your flying test, but we would like to try you out for another 3 months. We would like to see whether you are still able to have a consistent performance. I tell you, that day, I think in my entire life, I have never felt so sad as I felt that very day. I cried and cried and cried, and I'm lucky I have some very good friends in the Air Force. They came over to my room and they said, it's okay, Paridhei, you will be able to do it. But I cried and cried and cried, and I said, what is this? You give an exam with the hope that if you achieve this many marks, you will get what you required. And still I have reached the required mark, and still they have not given me a conversion. And I felt very sad. They said, you give it. I said, I won't give in 3 months now. I waited and I gave, because every unit is wanting more captains. I said, I don't want to appear now. I will appear at my turn. Next turn comes. I waited for 6 months. My next turn came, and then I became the captain of the aircraft. So I'm saying that living a life of passion or doing what you want as a woman is not easy. We all understand this is a complete hall packed with women who have achieved so much in their lives. So I understand that each one of you know that there will be challenges. I'll narrate another incident which happened when I was in the cockpit, and I was the captain of the aircraft, and the entire team was men. So the co-pilot was a man, the male officer, the navigator was a male officer, the flight engineer was a male. I was wanting to there was some emergency at and I wanted to take a diversion to another city. So for example, if I was heading for Lucknow, I decided I'll take another, because of some emergency at Lucknow, we had to travel to Kanpur and land there. I gave the command to the co-pilot, kindly, because the co-pilot is in charge of giving an RT call. I gave a command to the co-pilot. I said, listen, please give an RT call to Kanpur that we will be landing with you. He didn't budge. He didn't give the RT call. He just said, why are you diverting? I said, because the base is not available, we are diverting. Explain this to me, only then I will do it. Whereas as a captain of the aircraft, he has to listen to my command. I gave the RT call myself. I kept myself absolutely, I got strength to myself. I told myself, you can do it. I landed the aircraft. After getting out, I lodged a complaint against that officer that he refused to listen to me in the cockpit, which is against the law. Any airline, any Air Force you go, the captain's command is the command of the highest order. The other team members have to listen to it. So these are the challenges we faced when we joined Air Force. That was way back in 1995. But I would like to leave a small message to all the lovely ladies who are doing so well in their lives now, is that challenges will come. There will be gender bias, there will be some kind of discrimination, there would be times when we are not encouraged enough. Whatever we are doing, in whatever profession we are in, we would not find ourselves encouraged, or we would feel that somebody is trying to demotivate us, or look down upon us, or not give us enough enough leverage or enough encouragement to do whatever we want to. These challenges will come. But we don't have to take it on ourselves to just be activists and say, oh, I have this kind of problem, oh, these are the gender problems I'm facing, how do I go ahead, what should I do? So my small message to everybody would be, is that suppose we have X kind of problems. We have problems as women, we have problems. The gentlemen have Y kind of problems. They also, it's not that their life is problem-free. None of us can claim here in this entire hall, of all genres people are sitting, nobody can claim that they have no problems. So we have X kind of problems, they have Y kind of problems. Problems are there. We need to face it. I'm not saying don't fight for your rights. Fight for your rights. Learn to fight against injustice, put your foot down if anything wrong is happening, but forget about just complaining about it all the time. We have to gather ourselves and work on ourselves. Which happened to me when I'm a skydiver. So I did my basic skydiving course with the Marine Commandos. Now Marine Commandos are the strongest men found on earth. They're really very strong. So I did my training with the Marine Commandos. I obviously physically was not as good as they were. They were, when we used to go for a run, they would be 500 meters or so ahead of me, and I was running slowly behind them. But I decided, okay, this is my weakness. I'm not that strong. So I decided to do well in the technical part. I said, okay, let me see what I can do with skydiving. So I did my ground lessons very well. I did my positions very well. I learned the technique very well. I learned the emergencies very well. And I went there and became a skydiver. When we went the first day to the aircraft and it climbed to 7,000 feet, opened the door, all of us were scared. We were all very scared. And I have seen some of the toughest men on ground being scared at that moment and being pushed down by of the aircraft by a trainer. I have seen that. They were scared and they were such strong men. I was also scared. I just closed my eyes and I jumped. So I decided to work on my strengths. My message will be that work on yourself. No matter what we do in our lives, if we stop working and constructing ourselves internally, we will fail whether we are a man or a woman. So we have to work on ourselves and never forget to be happy and cheerful, because no matter what, our happiness and cheer is what will take us ahead in life. Thank you so much. Nice meeting.
It wasn't short of a Bollywood story, and we truly know who has emerged a true hero. Thank you, ma'am, for your motivational words. And I truly believe that words have the power to change lives. The second speaker for the session is a visionary with a larger purpose. I would request the tech team to play the audio-visual for Ms. Shalini Nambiar.
Shalini Nambiar, a visionary leader, passionate educator, director, principal, St. Anandram, Jaipuria School, Ghaziabad. With over 3 decades of unwavering dedication to the field of education, Shalini has been a guiding light for countless students, educators, and institutions. She holds a BA Honours in Economics from Lady Shri Ram College, Delhi. Her journey in education began after she transitioned from the airline industry, where she brought with her a unique blend of skills and profound commitment to nurturing young minds. Shalini believes in nurturing not just scholars, but well-rounded individuals who can contribute meaningfully to society. An educational consultant and trainer, she is a vocal advocate for breaking educational stereotypes and is passionate about the transformative power of genuine education. Her vision is rooted in fostering man-making through education, shaping individuals who not only excel academically, but also possess the values and skills necessary to make a lasting impact on the world. Please welcome Shalini Nambiar.
May I now request Ms. Shalini ji to educate us on her achievements and goals in life. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello. How's the mood? How's the Josh? इतना sad तो नहीं, थोड़ा loudly. मैं educator हूँ, पढ़ाऊँगी तो जरूर. How is the Josh? Yes. So we're going to do a little activity. मैंने मेरे बारे में इन्होंने बहुत कुछ बोल दिया. Please mother-in-law को भेज देना, ऊपर है. Because it's sometimes very shocking, you know. No, really. You know, that reminds me, there is a stand-up comedian here. I'm not, but I love telling jokes. So my mother-in-law, I'm a Punjabi, married to a Keralite. और जब शादी हुई तो a lot of people tried कि मलयालम सीख लो, mother-in-law से प्यार बढ़ेगा. पर मेरे को पता था प्यार अगर बढ़ाना है तो language नहीं सीखनी चाहिए. So we used to do Kathakali, and she'll speak in her language, I'll speak in my language, and our relationship was the best. So I'm going to do a little activity because lunch के बाद जब session, जब मेरे को बोला सीमा ने call करा कि it's at 2:30. मैंने कहा see half the women will sleep, and it is a fact. इतना बढ़िया lunch and then Charlie, you expect us to stay up, so we're going to do a little activity. I would request everybody, आपके पास एक I think pad है, if you can take a piece of paper and just stand up please with the paper. एक पेपर फाड़ लीजिए उसमें से. And if you can, I can see some men also in a women's conclave. आपको भी करना पड़ेगा. So what we'll do is, you have to just stand up and don't cheat. Just close your eyes and follow my instructions. जो भी मैं बोलूँगी आपको वो करना है. आँख बंद कर लीजिए please. And मैं promise कर रही हूँ, बहुत लोगों ने पूछा है evening में मैं बिंदी कैसे बनाते हैं session में. So पेपर आँख बंद करके पेपर को आधा फोल्ड करिए. Close your eyes and बीच में से काट फाड़ दीजिए. थोड़ा सा पार्ट बीच में से, कहीं से भी जहां आपको बीच दिख रहा है. अब उसको फिर से फोल्ड करिए और फिर राइट हैंड कॉर्नर फाड़ दीजिए. हाँ आपका. फिर से फोल्ड करिए और लेफ्ट हैंड कॉर्नर से छोटा सा पीस फाड़ दीजिए. और अब सेंटर से छोटा सा पीस फाड़ दीजिए. अब आप सब आंखें खोल के एक दूसरे का देखिए, क्या सबका मिलता है? नहीं. प्लीज सिट डाउन. थैंक यू. Everybody's will be different. Very. So thank you all so much. The point I was trying to say. How many of you are moms and dads? Just raise your hands. Thank you. हम सोचते हैं कि जो हम कह रहे हैं बच्चा समझ रहा है. बच्चा, every child is different और वो अपने perception से समझता है. I'll do another activity. You have a pencil there? Yeah? So can you all draw a house on that pad which you have? Just draw. Can I go down with the mic, please? Just draw a house. Okay. Everybody has drawn like this, है ना? ऊपर से कोना, right? कौन-कौन ऐसे घर में रहता है? हाथ उठाओ. We don't stay in houses like this, but yet all of you drew a house like this because you were taught this in your school. So, thank you. आपको मेरे को ना जब टाइम हो जाएगा बोल देना, because educate teachers बंद नहीं करते, माइक दे दिया. Politicians और हमारे में फर्क नहीं है. What is important is, I've been in the education for 30 years. I want to tell you a little bit. I'm from a middle class government servant. My father was a middle class government servant. मतलब, and we grew up in a small family, me and my sister. And उस समय 3 प्रोफेशंस होते थे जब हम पढ़ रहे थे. डॉक्टर, इंजीनियर, फेलियर. सो फादर ने बहुत चाह से इको ऑनर्स कहा, लेडी श्रीराम कॉलेज, बेस्ट कॉलेज, आप वहाँ जाओ. एडमिट करके गए. वो 3 साल में हॉस्टल में दिमाग खराब हो जाता है. एंड आई जस्ट वांटेड टू नॉट स्टडी, आई एम बीइंग ऑनेस्ट, बिकॉज एंड आई जॉइंड एयरलाइंस फॉर 5-6 years. देन आई हैड माई डॉटर. जब बेटी हुई तो स्कूल्स ढूंढने लगे. प्रिंसिपल्स इतने स्कैरी होते हैं कि उनके कमरे में मेरे को लग रहा था हम क्यों कांप रहे हैं, हम तो पेरेंट्स हैं. बट वी वर ट्रेवलिंग एंड आई यूज्ड टू थिंक माई मनी, माई चाइल्ड, एंड स्टिल आई हैव टू आंसर ऑल द क्वेश्चंस. That was the day. I've been always a little crazy. I left my 1.5 lakh rupees job at that time, became a music teacher at a salary of 1,500 rupees because there was no qualification I had. So part-time rakha school walon ne ki chalo aap gana ga lena. And in my journey of 30 years, I have met thousands and thousands of children. And let me tell you, we know more about your child than you know about your own child. And पेरेंटिंग इज एन आर्ट. पेरेंटिंग की कोई इंस्ट्रक्शन बुकलेट नहीं होती है कि आप ऐसे करिए. आप 2 बच्चे होते हैं. आई हैव 2 किड्स. दोनों को एक जैसा मैंने बड़ा करा, सेम एनवायरनमेंट, बट बोथ आर एब्सोल्युटली डिफरेंट. नाउ व्हाट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट इज दैट ट्राई एंड कनेक्ट विद योर चाइल्ड. आजकल क्या हो गया, रोल्स रिवर्स्ड हो गए. पेरेंट्स को, मैं अभी बता रही थी कि इवन इफ अ टीचर स्नीजेस इन द क्लासरूम, पेरेंट्स को पता होता है. You know, the parents. See, in the last 30 years, how many inventions have taken place in our country? How many scientists have come out? Because we let the child grow, हम पकड़ लेते हैं उनको. You know, अभी मैंने तो first time देखा कि एक ऐसा job जहाँ parents school का काम करते हैं और उनको salary भी नहीं मिलती. And it's a fact. So what is important is that what should you do as a parent? Of course, I can go on and on, but very important, just trust your child. Do you trust each other? Do we trust our husbands? Do we trust our family? No, we don't. नहीं, झूठ मत बोलिए, नहीं करते. एक करते काम. You all are looking so beautiful, right? Even men are looking handsome. The person sitting next to you, just do this little exercise. Tell that person, you are awesome. बोलिए please. So much of positivity came. Do you agree? Yes? So much of positivity because क्या आप अपने बच्चे को दिन में 4 बार बोलते हैं, listen, I trust you, you are great? नहीं, हम नहीं बोलते. कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. पता है माँ शर्मा जी का बेटा कितने मार्क्स लाया है? We do that. Knowingly, unknowingly, we compare. I know it's very sad, but I know at least, you know, thousands of kids who don't want to study because of the pressure at home. They say, पढ़ना ही नहीं है मैम, डांट तो पढ़नी है, क्या पढ़ना? And it's so difficult to motivate these children, to make their parents understand. Parents वो अपने आप तो engineer बन नहीं पाए, बच्चों को engineer जरूर बनाएंगे. And it's a fact. 80% children fail in 12th because parent ने बोला था science लो. You need to just let the child be. अभी मैं उनसे बात कर रही थी, the RJ, right? It's such a beautiful profession. Most of the parents are not aware. You know, a voiceover artist, my both children are. They make money by seconds. वो कहते हैं आप 8 घंटे में जितना कमाते हो, and they laugh at me. There are so thousands of jobs, so just trust your child. Let your child be. The world will be so beautiful. Second very important thing I want to talk about is, as you also said, it's very few people who live with passion. And as a woman, it's very tough. We don't know each other's story. All of us have a story. All of us. If we were to sit and share our stories, I think 80% of us will cry and go back, oh my God, I thought I was having a worse time. Inka to aur bhi bura haal hai. It's a fact. So we need to understand each other and support each other. Being a woman is very difficult. It's not easy, but then it's the most beautiful thing on earth. Clap for yourself. It's the... Bhagwan ने बहुत सोच के बनाया था women को, and I think we are the... I'm sorry men, but women are better multitaskers. Because हम आपको भी घुमा सकते हैं, बच्चों को भी घुमा सकते हैं, काम भी कर सकते हैं. Is my time up? वो बोल रही है टाइम ऊपर हो गया. मैंने उनसे पूछा, actually let me end with a joke. Sorry ma'am, I'm मैंने इनसे पूछा कितनी देर बोलना है. इन्होंने कहा आप 5 मिनट बोलना, हम तो माइक, आप जितनी देर बोलो हम माइक 5 मिनट बाद बंद कर देंगे. So before they switch off the mic, thank you all so much. Have a great day. God bless you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. One takeaway from your session is, we till today knew that knowledge opens a lot of doors, but now we need to learn how hard to push the door, and every key is different. So thank you so much. The last speaker for this session is a true example of a successful grit to glory story. I would request the tech team to play the audiovisual for Ms. Mahasweta Ghosh.
Mahasweta Ghosh, a dynamic blend of an endurance runner and a marketing expert. She lives her life by the inspiring mantra of never give up. With 2 remarkable decades dedicated to the pursuit of fitness and endurance, she has achieved the extraordinary. Her journey includes taking on the daunting Marathon des Sables in the Sahara Desert, a 6-day ultra-marathon of 250 kilometers. What makes Mahasweta's journey even more remarkable is her personal transformation. Once weighing 78 kgs, she has undergone a profound physical and mental metamorphosis, emerging as a devoted long-distance runner and a symbol of what sheer determination and grit can achieve. Please welcome Ms. Mahasweta Ghosh, a living testament to the power of determination and resilience.
Before Ms. Mahasweta showers her words of motivation on us, I would request the AV team to play the special video that we made on her.
Thank you so much. मैं तो इतनी नर्वस थी, नोट्स भी बना के लाई हूँ, सच्ची में प्रूफ है मेरे पास. And before I start, the most amazing part of this day today was when she addressed saying, welcome ladies. Generally, welcome ladies and gentlemen, poor gentlemen. थोड़े minority में है पहली बारी. Much feeling prouder than usual, I must say. So let me take you back, a little back into history, let's say. आज से करीब 20 years ago, a freak accident and I fell down because somebody pushed me accidentally and I dislocated my spine. I was bedridden for 6 months with no ability to move. I had to take help from somebody to get out of the bed, to even go to the washroom. 20 years ago, medical science was not that advanced in India as it is today. We eventually found out that there needed to be a surgery done for me to get back to my 2 feet. Amazing, my parents were excited, and then we went through the surgery, and it was a whole year of process of going through the whole treatment. When I was able to get back to walking again, I literally rehearsed to start back how to walk again after a year. In this period, 2 interesting things happened. My dad shed a whole lot of money. Thankfully, he had enough to spare. I also shed some stuff. I actually shed all my confidence, my morale, and then I gained something immensely, which was a lot of weight. That's what you saw in the picture. This, what you see, and that me is also a version of me. I was almost 80 kgs weighing. Body was gone, mind was gone, and you know what happens when you become like that, right? Especially a girl, a typical Indian middle-class family saying, oh, itni moti ho gayi hai, aage kya hoga, college mein shaadi nahi hogi, rishte nahi aayenge, blah, blah, blah. I understand that they came from a place of good intention, but at that time, it just rogered any little bit of motivation left in me. In those days, depression was not a big word. Nobody used the word depression. Sab bolte the, dukhi hai, bechari types. But then I think I was borderline getting depressed, if I may say. Thankfully, I don't know what happened, but there was a spark in my life, and it's a funny story which I really want to share. I was studying in Bangalore at that time, and I used to wear this whole big mask. And I went to the shop to buy a jeans, and my last size jeans didn't fit me, and I had to go and try a higher size. उस टाइम पे पैसे उतने ही होते थे. You were in college, didn't have a plus job to like go shopping every day, and I was distressing. What the hell is happening? That was the point, I think, when I decided that something has to change. And that day and this day, something changed. Now, you can say that either my mind changed or my attitude changed. I'm a big believer of the word attitude, because I think that day, that journey of, as she rightly said, that I could have lived a life of a victim and still probably weighing 80 kgs with all my medical conditions, my frozen hip and my PCODs versus me. People call it a fat to fit story. I like to call it the story of my victory, because I chose my attitude better than what happened to my body. So, you know, and in this process of transformation, there were two things that stuck to me. And one thing is, of course, me, myself, who set out in this journey to say that, okay, I want to do this weight loss journey, you know. I need to get fit. I didn't know fit at that time. I think I only knew I needed to lose my weight. And the second, most important, was also me. It has been 20 years. I have never stopped going to the gym and later getting into running or being just me. For most of us here, and I'm a running coach, the most common thing I face is that people start, but they forget how to sustain. And you know what? My biggest challenge that I challenge all of you to do today is that if you pick up something, a you will pick up, but where is the you that will take you through that journey to sustain? If you do not get that you along, you will not sustain. Now, how I did it, and this session talks about passion into profession and skills. I want to leave you with a few skills that I think it helped me, and I'm still working on them, but maybe it's worth sharing here. How many of you think skill is something jiska ek certificate milta hai? I have an MBA certificate, and as ma'am said, engineering too. Papa to kiya nahi, mujhe bola engineering pad lo beta, pad liya, kuch kiya nahi uska. So how many of you think skill is like a certification you get? Show of hand. Okay, I got a few. Yeah, please, there's no right or wrong. Skill to me, my first skill is my attitude. My parents didn't support me when I was married. My in-laws, my husband never supported my ways. They thought, you know, I don't know what she wants to do, she's lost in life. I think I had that attitude to do what I think is good for me. We always deprioritize, and especially have to say this cliche women dialogue that women love to deprioritize themselves. हर किसी को मदर टेरेसा बनना है, पर हर कोई जाके रोता भी है कि हाय यार मेरे साथ ऐसा हो रहा है. So that attitude, if you change and if you bring a little bit of focus on yourself and bring that attitude to do what you want to do. You hear so often, I used to do this before I was married. I used to do this before my kids were born. Why was it used to? What stopped? What changed? Who stopped you? Who got dominated? You know, nobody can dominate me, excuse me, like I wouldn't let anybody dominate me. So first to me is that attitude. I carry an attitude of positivity and gratitude. Life's difficult, hum sabke, everybody who's sitting here is having a hell of a ride, but then mine too. But then that doesn't stop me from being positive and doing what I love to do, and I'm grateful for all that I have. The second is the goal. you know, a lot of people ask me when I did this, marathon DSAB, saying, why did you do it? And I have only one thing. I really, really love what drives me in life is to set this goal which is beyond my scope. Because that then pushes me to go outside of my comfort zone and do this. When I went here, I was the only Indian in 1,200 people who were doing this. I'd never done this race. It was 7 days. I was eating out of whatever I had in my bag. I was like 7 days, I didn't have any real food. I only ate packed food. But I still did. That's my passion. That's my dream. So I believe that if you put up a goal which is slightly more outside of your comfort zone is what will take you to the next level. Else you are in a very nice, comfortable, wherever you are, and you will not grow. It's in corporate language, it says that that's how you grow. The third one is motivation. Now, if you set a humongous goal, then you need this in a lot. Like, you have to stay motivated to work towards that goal. A lot of people ask me, saying, how do I stay motivated? And I give a very simple answer, saying, every day wins. To be able to, I live in Gurgaon. Gurgaon is extremely hot, extremely cold, raining like mad, Diwali, whatever, fire burning, crop burning, everybody, the world hears. But I still go out and run, in whatever is the condition, in whatever shape and form and time. My motivation is every single day, I'm able to wake up at 4 o'clock, go out and do run, come back, make my lunch, take care of my family, and get to work at 11 a.m. in the morning. That's my motivation, and that's what adds some total. You keep doing this every day, you will see how far you're going, and then it's a vicious cycle. Then you get addicted to this motivation by yourself. And then the most important part is resilience. I assure you, you set out to do anything. Today, you decide I'm going to run 5K. You tell your partner or your family, even your kids, and they will say, "Mummy, आप पागल हो गए हो? इस उम्र में कोई भागता है? आपके घुटने चले जाएंगे." The most common question I hear is कि your knees will go when you run. Sorry, I've been running for 10 years. अभी भी knees ठीक है. So how do you just ensure that you're resilient? You know, when I finished this race, I made this comment saying, resilience is inversely proportional to resistance. My father was my biggest critic. I think he absolutely couldn't understand why I did all of this. And when I came back after my race, the first thing my dad said was, "Beta, I should have supported you more." You know, that was my biggest accolade. I don't think the medal or anything mattered more. And that came because he fought. I was sad, I cried, I was angry, I was upset. But one thing didn't change, is I did what I had to do to get to that race and to everything else in my life. And the last thing, and the most important thing, is prioritizing. We all think, especially women, and since this is a women forum, I want to emphasize this. I've emphasized it to my mother as well. Is that if you do not prioritize yourself, we are good at prioritizing everything, in-laws, parents, pati, bacche, even your neighbor, even your dog probably. You come last, ke bhi last mein kuch hota hai to. We fail to understand that if you are not good, you are of not good to anybody else. You being rushed to a doctor in your 50s by your husband or your kids, is that what you want to give them? Or you want to be like, you know, super fit, healthy, taking care of yourself and taking care of the family? That's what you give. The choice is yours. If you are good, you're good to yourself, to your family, to your office, to your community, to everybody, to the nation as well. And so the core, according to me, I just want to leave you with these 5 skills. If it resonates with anybody, pick it up and run with it. But to top of this, as ma'am said, thodi si khushi, a little bit of happiness. We are all going through troubled times. Nobody's life is hunky-dory. But then what you can get up, look at it and smile and say, it's okay. Tomorrow is another day. It's going to change your life. It's changed mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Your words have truly inspired us and ignited a fire of determination and attitude, reminding us that the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Now that we know how every woman has the power to make a difference in their own unique way, we are definitely tempted to know more. May I now call upon Ms. Trishla Jain to take the session forward.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. That was such an inspiring talk, all three of you. I'm actually overwhelmed listening to you. So my first question, I'll shoot straight away to Paridhei ma'am. Ma'am, you spoke about your struggles during the Air Force time and what ordeal women had to go through. But now, how do you see things changing? Because recently we had Avni Chaturvedi, the first women, and two more women who were the first ever Indian women to fly the fighter planes. And so these kind of incidents, do you find the role of women changing in defense services in the coming time?
Yes. Yes, I feel it has changed a lot and more opportunities have come. Now I have seen there are even commanders who are women. So you see a commanding officer who's a lady, you see a flight commander who's a lady, there are lady instructors, flying instructors also. So it has changed a lot. But somehow I feel there is a certain point of time when women are still feeling less of themselves by themselves. So when you have an opportunity there, you have to go ahead and do it and complain a little less and just build up your challenge.
That's such a learning lesson for us. So, ma'am, coming to you, Shalini ma'am, thank you for such an entertaining session. All the women were, suddenly alert during your session. Thanks for that. You spoke about education, literacy, schooling. So there's a very basic question which I would be asking you. What is the difference between being literate and being educated? And what role schools can play to educate children rather than just making them literate?
So, very interesting question. I think, if I may say, take the liberty. When we went to school, we were actually educated because the role of a school and a parent was clearly defined. So the school used to teach and they didn't interfere what parents were doing at home. And the parents were telling us, okay, make the bed, lay the table. So all the life skills were taught in the school, right? So we got truly educated. We knew if we didn't study, the teacher is going to get after our lives. If we learned to, self-do things, do it ourselves. But today what has happened is, like, as I said, that parents, the roles have reversed. Actually, parents are also equally, like the mother is so excited to see what the homework is that she'll teach the child. I'll give you a little example. Let's take a child of a nursery, 3-year-olds, right? A school is teaching them phonics, right? They're saying A, the mother is saying A. So the child is confused. So what is important is, I think, to clearly define the role of a school and a parent. And I think when we talk about education and literacy, of course, every school, that's their job. They will teach your child how to read and write. But to make him truly educated, of course, the progressive schools are putting in a lot of activities, a lot of things. But I think the parents, as women are here, you must remember the values system is taught at home. It's very, very essential that the kind of values, the children pick up everything what you do, because you are their idol, not us. No child when he's 30 is said, "Arey, ye to teacher ki tarah lagta hai." Ya to wo father ki tarah lagta hai ya mother ki tarah lagta hai. So the value system is picked up at home, and that parents, when a child speaks a bad language, see, it happens, I've got 5,000 kids, so imagine 10,000 parents. And imagine how many calls I get in a day, and I still manage to smile, because they'll call you, "Bete ne school mein hi seekhi hai ganti bhasha," without realizing that the home is where this. So when we talk about education, I think it has to be, the children need to be educated. Literate to koi bhi ho sakta hai. But education is a total holistic development of a child.
I think it's all about the whole character formation of the child,
yes.
the personality, the character.
See, you may be PhD holder, but if you don't know how to, leave your chair or where to throw your this thing, then you are literate, not educated. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So, for Mahasweta ma'am, you spoke about the setbacks and everything. See, we women have a very jumbled physical phases, I would say, in their lives. If you talk about the teenagers, the issues are different. If you talk about the pregnancy, the phases are different. You talk about menopause, things are different. So my question is, how soon or how late can women start their fitness journeys?
There is no age to get well, if I may start with saying that, is because it's, the problem is that when we say fitness, what comes to our state is the body. But we are not talking about fitness about I just want to say that. But to answer your question, there is no age to start wellness. One should get well wherever or however, in whatever age they are in.
Okay, so fitness can start with mind, not with the age, right?
It is the attitude. You have the right attitude, only then you will start.
Correct. So I'm sure all the ladies are inspired to be fit in whatever age you are, in whatever condition you are.
Thank you, thank you.
So now that's the concluding question of this session. And this is a common question, and you have to give your views on this question as per your opinions, okay? In your recipe of life, what should be the correct proportion of passion and profession? How can we balance passions and professional life together?
You better get a profession which is your passion, otherwise you're going to fail. I think passion would take 99.9% of what you want to do in life, otherwise you're really going to not reach anywhere. If it's not your passion, you won't be happy doing it, you won't perform in it, and you won't achieve success there. So better have passion.
Great.
If I may say, I think if you don't have a passion, you won't have a profession. Because, whatever you may be doing, you're not going to be, as she said, you're not going to reach anywhere because you don't love it, and you're going to be cribbing every day. So I think it's very important, and that's my message to all the beautiful women out there. Let your children discover their passion. We don't give them that time. We just don't allow them, we prepare their lives, for them. And so what happens, you must have noticed around yourself, at the age of 40, people leaving their careers and changing their professional, goals or whatever they want to do. And if you're sitting at home, and some of you maybe, and you say that you have a passion and you're thinking about it, it can become your profession. Today is the world with AI, with anything, everything is possible. The pandemic has taught us that. So all the best to everybody. But if you have a passion, make it your profession.
And just to interrupt in between, you've been a part of corporate world also. It's a full-time job, and the deadlines are erratic, it is chaotic. So how do you manage and how do you balance it? Because D-Sub and marathons, desert marathons, they're not very easy. So
I'll first finish the passion conversation, then I'll answer your question. According to me, a passion defines who you are. You become what your passion makes you. And that you is what you take wherever you go. Your profession, your personal, but I think, so what portion of that is passion and profession, you decide. But if your passion is going to actually define you, and that passion is what I take to my work. To be planning, to be managing deadlines. I have the same for my runs. I have my same goals to finish every day. I have my same races to perform. I have the same challenges to finish. And the best part about this is that when my corporate realizes my passion for do it, they came around and gave me 15 days paid leave saying, yeah, we are happy that you are contributing and you're part of a team. Go live your dream. So, but if you are good and passionate about your passion really, then the world will gradually come around. It wouldn't have happened to me 5 years ago maybe. But today seeing me do this, I'm sure when I go for my next race, my company is not going to challenge me for a 5-day leave they need to give me. So, I mean, just chase your passion.
Thank you so much for this very inspiring advice to the ladies sitting here. Now, the conclusion of this session has to be interesting. So I thought, why not dedicate something to all the ladies sitting here? And of course, the wonderful personalities sitting here on this stage. So पैशन हो या प्रोफेशन हो, दोनों की शुरुआत होती है एक सपने से, एक ख्वाब से। सपना कुछ कर दिखाने का, सपना कुछ कर गुजरने का। So there's something for the ladies from my side. बाबरा मन देखने चला एक सपना, बाबरा मन देखने चला एक सपना, बाबरी से मन की देखो बाबरी है बातें, बाबरी सी धड़कने हैं, बाबरी है सांसें, बाबरी सी करवटों से निंदिया दूर भागे, बाबरे से नैन चाहे, बाबरे झरोकों से, बाबरे नजारों को तकना, बाबरा मन देखने चला एक सपना। Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are so honored to have you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Trishla, for that amazing conclusion. I would like to express my gratitude to our distinguished panelists for sharing their experiences. A special recognition for our health and safety partner, ABN Equipments, our logistic partner, Soumya Vehicles, for the seamless execution of the event, and IPS Academy for their technical support for today's event. We appreciate your partnership. And to you, lovely audience, for being here today. Let's all celebrate our collective strength, wisdom, and the limitless possibilities that lie ahead.